What up, everyone? Welcome back to the stream. Today we're going to take on the Stanley Parable. Um, don't really know much about this game. My brother told me that it's worth playing, and that some of it is loosely related to the show Severance. I guess Severance gets a lot of its ideas from the Stanley Parable. So it's asking me what time it is. I'm gonna go with 2:52 because that's the time it is now. Your favorite time? I wouldn't say that. Okay. What the hell? It's actually 2:52, bro. Okay. It's good to collect data, huh? I wish we had more sliders, but we've gone through all the sliders I have. Perhaps I can invent some new sliders to gather new data on you. Shouldn't be too hard. Yeah. Let me whip up a couple new. What? Should be ready by the next time you boot up the game. Great. I don't get that, but okay. Narrator is talking to me as if
This is the story of a man named Stanley.
he knows that I'm the
Stanley
person
worked for
playing
a
it, I
company
guess.
in a big building where he was employee number 427. Employee number 427's job was simple. He sat at his desk in room 427 and he pushed buttons on a keyboard. Orders came to him through a monitor on his desk, telling him what buttons to push, how long to push them, and in what order. This is what employee 427 did every day of every month of every year. And
Hmm.
although others might have considered it soul-rending, Stanley relished every moment that the orders came in, as though he had been made exactly for this job. And
Like a video game
Stanley
character.
was happy. And then one day, something very peculiar happened. Something that would forever change Stanley. Something he
Hmm?
would never quite forget.
What happened?
He had been at his desk for nearly an hour when he realized that not one single order had arrived on the monitor for him to follow. No
Definitely
one had
strange.
showed up to give him instructions, call a meeting, or even say hi. Never in all his years at the company had this happened, this complete isolation.
Hmm.
Something was very clearly wrong. Shocked, frozen solid, Stanley found himself unable to move for the longest time. But as he came to his wits and regained his senses, he got up from his desk and stepped out of his office.
Okay, so I guess this is where I get up out of here.
All of his co-workers were gone. What could it mean? Stanley decided to go to the meeting room. Perhaps he had simply missed a memo. No matter how hard Stanley looked, he couldn't find a trace of his co-workers.
Did you say who farted? I don't know. That shit was funny. Alright, so, um, I like who. I like work. I just hate my boss. Alright. Ain't nobody around. What does this one say? Oh, who farted again? Alright. Could have done with a few different messages, but okay.
When Stanley came to a set of two open doors, he entered the door on his left.
Let's just go with what the game is telling us for the first time. I'm guessing we're going to be here a few times.
Yet there was not a single person here either. Feeling a wave of disbelief, Stanley
Okay.
decided to go up to his boss's office, hoping he might find an answer there.
What is hot? Profits, profits, profits. How to solve a dispute with a coworker. Is there anything here that might be useful? I don't know. Just gonna check it out. Everyone is unique. You most of all. Okay, so is that a message to me, Stanley, or is that just regular encouragement for the workplace? Slide, charge, slides, charts, and slides. Alright, so obviously that's useless.
Stanley stepped into the broom closet, but there was nothing here, so he turned around and got back on track.
Alright, alright.
Coming to a staircase, Stanley walked upstairs to his boss's office.
Door's locked. Okay. So, what boss's office comes off of a concrete and metal staircase? Like Stanley works here, down in this floor. We come up here, and it's like you would figure that this is like this goes to like a car garage or something. But no, you enter here, and it's all wood grain. Like completely, I don't know. I just think that's weird. As a design, high ceilings, fire. What's this? Nothing. Even the secretary's gone. What was she working on? Nope, can't hack in. It's not like them Disney Channel movies.
Stepping into his manager's office, Stanley was once again stunned to discover not an indication of any human life. Shocked, unraveled, Stanley wondered in disbelief who orchestrated this. What dark secret was being held from him? What he could not have known was that the keypad behind the boss's desk guarded the terrible truth that his boss had been keeping from him. And so the boss had assigned it an extra secret PIN number.
What's the number?
2845. But of course, Stanley couldn't possibly have known this.
4, 5.
Yet incredibly, by simply pushing random buttons on the keypad, Stanley happened to
What the
input
fuck?
the correct code by
What
sheer
the hell was
luck.
that?
Amazing. He stepped into the newly opened
Bro.
passageway.
That's not weird. You put in the code and these shutters come down the window. Wasn't we like I could have sworn his boss's office was in the roof. So how are there shutters coming down from the roof? And then didn't these ceilings get higher? Or am I tripping? I don't know, maybe I try to pay too close attention to things. I've been playing role-playing games since I was like damn near 8 years old with the Legend of Dragoon, and that game taught me to search everywhere. Even if it doesn't look like you can find something, it's like you gotta search. In Legend of Dragoon, there's this how do I say? I guess you could say it's not an item. It's something you collect called Stardust, and when you collect enough of them, just want to see if there's something here. When you collect enough of them, you get to fight this guy named Faust. So, playing Legend of Dragoon, I had to literally search everywhere on every single map just to look for that Stardust to make sure that I have enough so I can
Descending
fight Faust.
deeper into the
So
building,
because of that,
Stanley
I like to
realized
search
he felt
every
a bit
single
peculiar.
thing now in all the games.
It was a stirring of emotion in his chest, as though he felt more free to think for himself, to question the nature of his job.
But who
Why
is
did he
Stanley?
feel this now, when for years it had never occurred to him? This question would not go unanswered for long.
Alright, then let's see where we're going next. Cause it's like, and how do we step up off this elevator into this weird ass factory? Like, what
Stanley
job does
walked
this
straight
guy
ahead
have?
through the large door that read Mind Control Facility.
Oh, what up, caveman? Thanks for joining the stream, my brother. Yeah, I know you know Legend of Dragoon well, so yeah,
The
definitely
lights
got a grand
rose on
value.
an enormous room packed with television screens. What horrible secret did this place hold? Stanley thought to himself. Did he have the strength to find out?
Obviously, we're in a place called the Mind Control Room. So this company does. I still don't know what it does. Yeah, it mind controls people, but I don't know.
Now the
I
monitors
don't know what
jumped
it
to
does.
life, their true nature revealed. Each bore the
001.
number of an employee in the building, Stanley's co-workers.
Damn.
The lives of so many individuals reduced to images on a screen.
So they're
And
just
Stanley,
monitoring every single
them,
one of us?
eternally monitored in this place where freedom meant nothing.
Damn, all the way to 600, and then it says, whatever employee that one was, fired. They got him out of here. Oh, can I proceed? Oh, okay. Yeah, this is mad weird. And then what are these platforms for? Why do we gotta?
This
Yeah, we're
mind
getting monitored,
control
and there's a huge
facility, it
monitoring
was
room,
too
like you
horrible
was
to
Professor
believe
X or
couldn't be
something.
true.
But what are
Had
these
Stanley really been
platforms
under
for?
someone's
Why is it
control
just
all
like
this
a
time?
single
Was this the
computer?
only reason he was happy with his boring job? That his emotions had been manipulated to accept it blindly?
Whoa.
No. He refused to believe it. He couldn't
So
accept
every day
it.
this dude
His
clocked
own
into
life
work.
in someone
He was
else's
just
control.
made to
Never.
to
It
input
was
commands
unthinkable.
while getting
Wasn't
monitored.
it? Was it
Dude,
even
this is
possible?
basically
Had he
what I'm
truly
doing in the
spent his
game. In
entire
this
life
game,
utterly
dude, the
blind to the
narrator's annoying right
world?
now. But in this game, they make you press all these buttons, right? They make you go to this door or that door, or the narrator guides you, right? But as you play the game and you're pressing the buttons, you become Stanley. You not only are you Stanley in the game, but you're Stanley in real life because to play this game, I have to press exactly the buttons that the narrator's telling me. So it's like a parable of me being Stanley, or Stanley is us, the player, as well, because he gets told what to do. He presses these buttons and he's perfectly content. So I don't know. I just thought that was
But
something
here
really
was the
cool to
proof, the
correlate.
heart of the operation. Controls labeled with
Mind
emotions.
control
Happy
status.
or sad
Damn.
or content. Walking, eating, working. All of it monitored and commanded from this very place. And as the cold reality of his past began to sink in, Stanley decided that this machinery would never again exert its terrible power over another human life. For he would dismantle the controls once and for all.
Yeah, let's shut this facility down, because, I mean, what's the point of even shutting it down? Ain't nobody there. Everybody disappeared. Chilling at work for an hour. The whole company's gone without a trace. Should I, mind controls, idles, awaiting input. Should I power them on or should I power them off? What do you think, K-Man? Should I power them on or power them off? I think we're gonna go ahead and power them off for the first time. And what? What happened? Hello? Yo, what happened?
Blackness
Oh,
and a rising chill of uncertainty. Was it over? Yes. He had won. He had defeated the machine, unshackled himself from someone else's command. Freedom was mere moments away.
is this real freedom?
And yet, even as the immense door slowly opened, Stanley reflected on how many puzzles still lay unsolved.
For real? Like,
Where
what would have
had
happened
his
if I took the right
co-workers
door?
gone? How had he been freed from the machine's grasp? What other mysteries did this strange building hold?
Is
But
this a
as
real
sunlight
exit?
streamed into the chamber,
Or is this
he
dude
realized
just mind
none of this
controlled
mattered
now?
to
Now
him.
that's gonna stay in my
For
head.
it was not
Mind
knowledge or
control.
even power that he had been seeking, but happiness. Perhaps his goal had not been to understand, but to let go. No longer would anyone tell him where to go, what to do, or how to feel. Whatever life he lives, it will be his. And that was all he needed to know. It was perhaps the only thing worth knowing. Stanley stepped through the open door. Stanley felt the cool breeze upon his skin, the feeling of liberation, the immense possibility of the
finally
new
got to go
path before
outside,
him.
man.
This was exactly the way. Right
Was
now,
was he locked down though? Like, when he pressed the boss's key, he was locked down. But he was just a regular employee at the office where everyone else disappeared. They vanished without a trace. It was like Thanos snapped his finger. But he was able to get out kind of easily, though. Like, we didn't really have to do too much to get him out. What the fuck? I thought we was free!
All of his co-workers were gone. What could it mean? Stanley?
Oh, please.
Oh,
Are you really just doing this for the trophy?
click a door 5 times? Is that all you think a trophy is worth? No. I can't just give these merits away for such little effort. A measly 5 clicks. Now, suppose you were to click the door 20 times.
Okay.
I would say that's the kind of effort that warrants recognition.
Got it. 20 times.
I have to say, I'm still not feeling the satisfaction of witnessing true effort for a noble cause.
Come on.
Perhaps 50 clicks will do it. Yes.
50 clicks?
Certainly. 50
All right.
clicks.
Got you. Come on, man. I'm clicking. 50. That should be 50 by now.
No. I'm still not feeling it. I want this trophy to have meant something. It has to be a true reward for valiant effort. I want to see some hustle, Stanley. I want to see commitment, a willingness to go all the way no matter the cost. Bro. Why don't you go put 20 clicks into door number 417?
417? So the narrator's telling me how to get a trophy. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5.
Oh, great. Now, go click a few times on door 437.
437 has to be this way. There we go. What do you say? How many times?
Excellent. I think we're getting somewhere. Now, door 415. Let's give it 10 clicks or so.
This dude's having too much fun with me clicking doors. 415. There we go. I'm over here thinking something's going to pop out.
Now, back to door number 437.
Like jump scare the shit out of me, like some crazy ass monster or something. 437. Oh, yeah, back here.
Let's see. How about you click on, well, I don't know, the copy machine. All right. Back to room 417. I'm really feeling it now. I think we're getting somewhere.
Dude, my head is spinning right now. Like, I'm just confused.
Okay, now go climb on employee 419's desk.
How do I do that? Input received? Input received? What does that mean? How do I fucking climb, dude? Dog, I'm trying to climb on the desk. How do I do it, man?
Yes! This is great! You're putting it all on the line, Stanley. I like that. All right, let's keep it up. Go give me a few clicks on door 416.
16. This game doesn't even
We've almost got it! Now the copy machine, do that one again!
Man, this trophy better be worth it.
Finish it off, Stanley! 5 clicks on door 430!
This is it! 1, 2, 3, 4, 5!
Yes! We did it! Oh, wow. That felt amazing.
Man.
Oh, you really earned it, Stanley. Nothing could hold you back. Yes, I'm very proud of how far we've come today.
Click on the door 430 times. Alright. Continue on. That's mad weird. Like, how is this part of the office, but then it leads to a white brick entryway? I don't know. This place just
when Stanley came to a set of 2 open doors, he entered the door on his left.
Maybe I'll power up the machine this time. So, door on the left.
Yet there was not a single person here either.
So,
feeling a wave of disbelief, Stanley decided to go up to his boss's office. Coming to a staircase, Stanley walked upstairs to his boss's office.
I wonder if there's something I can do. There's some type of ending or input where everybody comes back. Or maybe, I don't know, maybe this game is about, like, waking up from the Matrix or some shit like that.
Stepping into his manager's office, Stanley was once again stunned to discover not an indication of any human life. What could it mean? Stanley was in such a rush to get through the story as quickly as possible, he didn't even have a single minute to just let the narrator talk.
Who does this narrator think he is, bro?
So he relaxed for a few moments with some calming New Age music.
What? What the fuck? This a little too sophisticated for me. Like,
Feeling
what the hell?
soothed and rejuvenated, Stanley calmly walked forward into the opened passageway.
It's like they have so many input commands. It's like they anticipate damn near anything you can and will do in this game. It's just pretty cool because it makes it feel like this world is more realistic because it has certain limitations and certain things that you're expected to do, kind of like in the real world. Like
Stanley
you
walked
buy a
straight
car, you're
ahead through the
expected to
large
pay the
door
bills,
that
type of
read
stuff.
Mind Control Facility.
Although this escape sign,
Although
though,
this passageway had the word escape written on it, the truth was that at the end of this hall, Stanley would meet his violent death.
violent death. Should we go for the violent death, or should we turn around and just see what happens if we power this up? Looks kind of spooky though. This is what the alleyways in London look like when you about to get hit by Jack the Ripper. Fast, fast. I don't know. I think I'm leaning towards just see. Let's just see. Let's just see what the violent ending is. Let's just see, cause
The
I
door
don't know.
behind him was not shut. Stanley still had every opportunity
Oh
to turn around and
shit.
get back on track.
Yo, the narrator doesn't really want me to do it either. Is it that violent? It's gonna be a jump scare. I know it's gonna be a jump scare.
At this point, Stanley was making a conscious, concerted effort to walk forward and willingly confront his death.
Come on, bro. Don't do this to me. I hate jump scares. How is he gonna die? Oh shit. That does not look good. Ah! Fuck. No, I'm still falling. Ah! What the fuck is going on? No, what?
As the machine whirred into motion and Stanley was inched closer and closer to his
Oh, that's how he's
demise,
gonna
he
die?
reflected that his life had been of no
A trash
consequence
compactor?
whatsoever. Stanley can't see the bigger picture. He doesn't know the real story, trapped forever in his narrow vision of what this world is. Perhaps his death was of no great loss, like plucking the eyeballs from a blind man.
My dude, that is
So
a
he
great loss.
resigned
Plucking
and
eyeballs.
willingly accepted this violent end to
Dog,
his brief
I
and
don't
shallow
accept this.
life. Farewell,
No.
Stanley.
Oh man. Geronimo! What?
Farewell, Stanley, cried the narrator,
Who's that?
as Stanley was led helplessly into the enormous metal jaws. In a single visceral instant, Stanley was obliterated as the machine crushed every bone in his body,
What?
killing him instantly.
What? What? Yo, yo, what's going on? The machine didn't kill me.
And yet it would be just a few minutes before Stanley would restart the game, back in his office, as alive as ever. What
What?
exactly did the narrator think he was going to accomplish?
Oh, is this lady saving us? Hold on a second, man. Hold on. 'Cause maybe the viewers, maybe it's not the same for you guys watching it, but playing this game kind of fucks with your head because you start to feel like you are Stanley. I think that's why they made it in like first person. And then like as I was falling through the shaft, I literally felt that shit. Like I was falling. And then now, thinking I'm about to get crushed, this lady comes and saves us. Is the narrator bad and the lady good? I don't. I've never thought that there was gonna be more than one narrator, and one of them is kind of like joking about us dying. Like he don't care. He's like, "Yeah, Stanley's gonna get crushed." But then the lady's like saving us. Like she got us. She got us up out of that rig. So, I don't know. Let's find out together. What's that?
When every
Whoa!
path you can walk has been created for you long in advance, death becomes meaningless, making life the same. Do you see now? Do you see that Stanley was already dead from the moment he hit
What?
start?
What? No! What? What the fuck? My mind is blown. Is that Stanley's fucking office? Oh my god. Yo! We're like fucking lab rats. No, what the... The set of the two doors... The set of the two open doors was the very first concrete piece of the Stanley's parable design. Once this door was created, the rest of the game emerged as an... Nah, bro. And then zero... Yes! The first zeros! Where... Couldn't even see their office or anyone under floor 4. Oh, nothing's off about these paintings. Stanley was dead from the moment we pressed start. Stanley was dead? What a fucking mindfuck. Office computers, employee database, installation. Is this the end of the game? This is it? So is this is the end of the game? Maybe not. What's going on? Is this just like a gallery of like different things they...
And finally, he pushed the number 9. Stanley pushed the number 6.
9?
Then he pushed the number 8. Stanley walked over the bridge. Stanley pushed the big red button.
Okay, alright, that's creepy. Just... And after that, I don't even trust the narrator, so I'd rather get away from that guy. Freedom ending was the very first incarnation of the freedom ending in Game Alpha. Okay, so maybe they could tell us... They're gonna tell us things about... Maybe there's hints to other endings. Okay. Beta. There's nothing really... Is that it? Is that where you leave? Man. Nah, this game has been an experience. I don't even know how long I've been playing this for, but it hasn't even been that long, and I feel like I just completely beat the whole game.
Oh, look at these two. How they wish to destroy one another. How they wish to control one
Creepy.
another. How they both wish to be free.
Okay. I'm in a big ass room.
Can you see? Can you see how much they need one another?
What?
No, perhaps not. Sometimes these things cannot be seen. But listen to me. You can still save these two. You can stop the program before they both fail. Turn off your PlayStation. There's no other way to beat this game. As long as you move forward, you'll be walking someone else's path. Stop now and it'll be your only true choice. Whatever you do, choose it. Don't let time choose for you. Don't let...
So we died anyway. Looks like, okay, so Stanley's dead from the beginning of the game is what they're saying. So no matter what you do, you shouldn't feel consciously bad doing it because he's dead anyway. and all we're doing is exploring the outcomes of his um like life as it branches out, and we make different decisions, kind of like parallel universe choices. How everything changes once you make a certain step, I
All of
guess.
his co-workers were gone. What could it mean? Stanley decided to go to the meeting room. Perhaps he had simply missed a memo.
All right. So we went to the escape route and found out that what?
Oh, new
What?
content? What does that mean, new content?
That's what I was gonna say. Isn't this the fucking stupid hallway I asked about earlier? How that shit? I swear, I didn't even know you could do that. 416, but wasn't door 416? Did they move 416 over here? Guys, I have no idea what this is, but here we go together. Creepy. Spooky.
Hello, and thank you for playing the Stanley Parable Ultra Deluxe.
You're welcome, my dude.
As you may know, the Stanley Parable was a video game released in 2013 on home computers.
I didn't know. I didn't know.
After receiving critical and commercial success, it was expanded upon in 2022 with the Stanley Parable Ultra Deluxe, a reimagining of the game for consoles and home computers. The Stanley Parable Ultra Deluxe features exciting new content that broadens and expands the world of the Stanley Parable, delighting audiences the world over. Please, step inside and see what thrilling new adventures await in the Stanley Parable Ultra Deluxe.
Oh, well, this sounds delightful. I'm very excited to see the thrilling new Ultra Deluxe content.
Okay. So it looks like I'm kind of confused and feeling like I missed out on mad shit. It's kind of weird to like. I don't know. I feel like I'm missing
Okay,
mad
so far it's an
content. Maybe
elevator.
I don't
Nothing
know.
special
Before
yet,
I got the
but I'm
DLC,
sure
I got
it's
the
just the
DLC before
beginning of a
beating the game for real.
mesmerizing
I don't think
adventure.
I don't think the game only has 2 endings. I think it has more than 2, based off of.
Is it broken?
Dude, shut up.
What's going on here? Should we be moving somewhere? Oh, there we go. All right, finally, at long last, it's on to the new content. I've
Shut
never
up,
been
dude,
more
I'm trying to
ready.
talk.
Let's do it.
Shut up. Yeah, I feel like the game has more endings than what I went through, and now I'm getting the DLC. But whatever,
I have
we'll
to
see
say,
what
initial
happens.
impressions of Stanley Parable Ultra Deluxe, mostly tedious. It's as if Oh, okay. Let's see the content. Give me the content, Stanley.
All right, so yeah, I so far my thoughts on this game. I love games like this. It fucks with your mind. It gets your heart racing. It's a thriller. It's not really horror, but it's a thriller. And these are the best games. Like, you have the most raw and real reactions to them, because you're never gonna expect what the hell happens next. It's like watching your favorite show. It's fire.
All right. Let's see. It's the jump circle.
I can jump now. That could have helped when I was trying to jump on the office. Thanks, game. Yeah. And if you guys are enjoying the stream and you guys like what you see, go ahead and follow, give me a like, head on over to YouTube, head on over to Twitch, wherever you're not watching from, give me a follow there for more content. Okay, so I did all my jumps. That's it.
Is that it? Surely that's not all the new content. There has to be something else, right?
I hope so. Like Kodak said,
Goodness.
yeah, I hope
Another
so.
elevator. Stanley, I have to say, initial impressions of this game are not positive. It's just elevators and jumping. Is this what passes for exciting new content? If this is new content, then I could just read you the whole dictionary. There's 20 hours of new content right there. Hell, I could counter 30 trillion. You could put that on the box. The Stanley Parable Ultra Deluxe, now with over 1,000 hours of new content. And if... Oh, wait. There's more. Very good. Yes. I knew there had to be something else. Let's see it. I'm ready for whatever it is. That's it? Oh, you've got to be kidding me. You see, Stanley? This is what happens when greedy video game developers with no respect for their fan base rush a cheap expansion to market for no reason other than to make an easy dollar. And don't get me started on the level of craftsmanship that's gone into it. In fact, I'm looking right now at the game's trophies, and it's hard to believe one of them actually says, "Test trophy, please ignore." What quality assurance department signed off on this? I'm infuriated and I'm offended, and I intend to find these people on Twitter and hold them personally accountable. It's my fault, Stanley. I built up too much anticipation around the new content, I'm afraid. It could never have lived up to such expectations. If you're still with me, why don't we just reset the game, and we'll try to get back to what the Stanley Parable is really about. No frills, no gimmicks. Just you and me having a great time together like always. What do you say, friend?
Man, and then he restarts me. What? This isn't Stanley's office. Well, it is, but the outside isn't. What the fuck is going on? Try the first door, nothing. This is a picture of what I would normally see. What the fuck is that?
Stanley, come over here. In the vent. I want to show you something.
Bro. What are we doing? Coffee nut? That's... I'm not even gonna make that joke.
Okay, you remember how cheap and unsatisfying the new Ultra Deluxe content turned out to be? Well, it got me thinking about the past and how much better the Stanley Parable used to be. So I made something special and tucked it away here where the game's developers won't find it.
No way.
Just our little secret.
Ooh, what is this? Now this I like.
I call it the Memory Zone. It's where I've been storing all my favorite memories so I can relive the peak experiences of my life whenever I want. Experiences like the launch of the Stanley Parable on PC.
This is beautiful. You know, finally out of that dingy office, I feel like I'm in a very low budget Elden Ring.
You see, Stanley, doesn't the Memory Zone remind you of how wonderful Stanley Parable was before it was sullied with a cheap PlayStation port?
On Steam, nice.
Remember back in October of 2013, when the game originally launched? Back then, video games had integrity. Back then, it all meant something. Oh, the waste.
All right. Their first dollar bill. Somebody trace that number. No, I'm just kidding. Smile because it happened. Okay. What else? Okay, accolades. Okay. Whatever that was.
And over here is where I keep reviews of the Stanley Parable. Like this stunning triumph of games journalism, 10 out of 10 from Destructoid.com. James Stephanie Sterling writes, and I quote, Where so many games that aspire to be more than games end up less than any form of art, Stanley Parable strives and then succeeds to be every game ever created. Did you hear that, Stanley? Every game ever created. That's how grand and all-encompassing the original Stanley Parable was. It was literally every game ever created. It was Skyrim. It was Persona 3. It was all of them. And now, it's nothing.
Persona 3 was fine.
It's no games at all. It isn't even the Stanley Parable anymore. It's just a husk now. A lifeless husk with an hour of new elevator content. Here's another moving passage, this time from GameSpot.com. The Stanley Parable is both a richly stimulating commentary on the nature of choice in games and one that offers some of the most enjoyable, surprising, and rewarding choices I've ever been confronted with in a game. 9 out of 10. Don't you get it, Stanley? The game was perfect. It didn't need anything else. It didn't need new content.
About himself.
All they had to do was transport it in pristine condition along to the PlayStation. Boom, done. And they couldn't even do that. Couldn't resist the urge to go meddling with a beloved franchise.
The serious room. Yeah, but I can't even get there. So what was the point of opening that?
These were simpler times, Stanley. But I wouldn't give to go back, to have it all over again. Wait, hang on. I don't recall this part of the memory zone before. What's this? What's down here?
I'm wondering what? Ooh.
Oh, no. Oh, God, no, Stanley. It's a collection of reviews from Pressurized Gas, the extremely popular online storefront for computer games.
The DLC
I haven't looked at these in
this
years.
I
can't even imagine what's been collecting down here. Surely these reviews were glowing as well, weren't they?
Dog, I do not want to read more reviews, man. What's going on with this game?
I could not be bothered to play this game to full completion. The narrator is obnoxious and unfunny, with his humor and dialogue proving to be more irritating than entertaining. Unfunny? I'm not trying to be funny. I'm trying to make a serious work of art. I suppose I could write up a handful of gags to insert into the Stanley Parable, but the game is already such a densely layered web of profound philosophical insights that I can't even imagine where I'd have the room to stick them.
Alright, I'm in a weird construction area.
Okay, let's see what this one says.
Oh, man.
While the idea for the game is good, for someone who prefers non-linear games, this preachiness gets annoying fast. Preachy? Stanley? I'm not preachy, am I? You can tell me if I'm preachy. Honestly, you can. Oh, goodness. This is actually quite shocking for me. Well, to be honest, I had always thought of the game's dialogue as being rather terse to begin with. You can't know how much fluff I cut from the game to get it to feel as light and airy as it... Well, I always thought it did. But maybe it wasn't. Oh, dear. What an awful memory to have to hold on to. These black marks are my otherwise unimpeachable track record. I feel like a failure.
What do you mean by that? Black marks?
Like I let these people down. Perhaps the Stanley
Black
Parable
marks?
isn't quite as sterling as I always remembered.
Ah, another negative review.
What's this one got to say? You constantly have to stop doing anything so the narrator can catch up with his long-winded explanations of what's happening. I wish there was a skip button.
Are we going to add one?
A skip button? Well, yes.
Yes.
I think we can do that.
Oh,
if I'm
my
truly
goodness.
too preachy, then maybe letting you skip ahead for just a moment, surely it couldn't hurt. Not if it means we can strike these negative reviews from the record. Only positive reviews of the Stanley Parable. That's my motto today, and it's always been my motto.
This is how you know you're in a dream world.
Stanley. Yes, a
This
skip
random
button
shit
we
happening.
shall have.
Okay.
And here it is. Go ahead and give it a shot. I'll pop you forward in time so that the second my incessant droning starts to bore you, with just the push of a button, you'll have zipped right past it. It's what the players have been asking for, and I'm very proud to have delivered. No more listening to me rambling. Oh, you're back, you see. You were only frozen in time for a few minutes, but it was plenty of time for me to deliver a long, rambling monologue full of...
Yeah.
Well, there, sport. You really did catch me rambling on a bit, didn't you? But that's the power of the button. The minute I start to go off on a thoughtless display of self-absorption... Okay, welcome back, Stanley. Now, I should say that the amount of time the button has been skipping through is becoming longer and longer. That last one was, well, I want to say maybe 30, 45 minutes.
Okay.
It's not unendurable by any means, but it's, well, there's really only so much I can ramble on to myself about. I know, it's shocking, isn't it? But at any rate, I do suggest that we not press the button again. I think the skip button has been aptly demonstrated, and we can say goodbye to it and just... Wait, how do we get out of here? Where did the door go? Wasn't there a door that led into this room? I do feel quite certain that there was one
Well, it
here
looks
before.
like we're gonna have to skip
How
no matter
else
what.
would we have gotten into the room in the first place? I don't think
but
one can enter a
every time
room
we
without a
skip,
door
time
of some
goes
sort,
by.
or a window
We're
or something
still
like
for
that. Do you
a
see a
longer
window
amount of time,
anywhere?
so.
A porthole? A
he's
sufficiently
just gonna keep
large
rambling
crack in the
until
wall?
I,
I'll take
press
any
this
of
button,
these.
so.
All I... Stanley! Stanley! Stanley,
Let me guess,
please
it's been
don't push the
12
button
hours?
again. It's been 12 hours.
Dude.
You've just been
Oh,
frozen there.
that's the
I
freaking
don't know
point of
why
the
the
clock.
skips are getting longer, but they're really, truly getting longer, and my God, there's no way out of the room. Stanley, the door is gone. It's completely gone.
I can see
I've
that,
looked
bro.
at it from every angle. I've checked every one of those walls 1,000 times, and there's no door, Stanley. There's no door. There's just
But the button
you
is yellow
and the button,
again.
and if you keep pressing... Oh, Stanley, you're back. You're back. Oh, my goodness. I have someone to talk to again. Stanley,
The flower's
I
dead?
think it's been a week. Or 2 weeks. I've been sitting here all
Whoa.
that time. Just sitting here. Not a single person to speak
I mean,
with.
it's
And you'd think
like
that
some type
that's
of
just
Zoom ending.
how it's always been, right? Me talking and you saying nothing. Would you think that it's exactly the same as always? Doesn't that feel like what we've already been doing?
yeah, enough of that. It's probably been like a year now or something.
Oh, hello. It's you. You're here again. Welcome. I have had time to think about you and about us and about everything we've been through. I've had so much time. I stopped keeping track after a year. Have
Knew
you
it.
ever sat down in one place and not moved for one entire year?
I
Let
knew
me
it.
describe it for
It was
you.
moving up
To begin
exponentially.
with, there is only regret. There is only the turning wheel of missed opportunities. I felt nothing at all but regret for the longest time, Stanley. Days,
Is a year enough time for them
months.
to put in a
I lost
door?
it all in a blur of the deepest longing to undo the past. And when that feeling had begun to subside, what took its place is what I can only describe
guys.
as the
When I press
collapse
it
of
again, it's
every
probably gonna be-
moment I have ever experienced my entire life.
They're gonna
All
force
of
it.
them
It's probably gonna be like
collapsed
10
down
10
into a
years or something.
single...
Narrator's dead now. He don't talk. It's over for bro. Yeah, yeah, it's over for bro. All this time, but this is what he said. He was like, "You want a skip button? You want to skip me that many times? Let's see what happens when I'm not there. Are you gonna miss me? Do we miss the narrator's excessive talking? Because the point of this whole spiel was that they're getting negative reviews from people who didn't like the narrator talking so much. And honestly, as I'm playing the game, I'm plenty of times I'm like, narrator, shut up. But um, but he brought up the point of the skip button and how people like to skip games and not enjoy the content, right? Because this is the new downloadable content. Why would you want to skip it, right? So whatever, he became annoying on purpose and coerced us into pressing the skip button. As we press the skip button, time is moving exponentially. That's why we have this plant. It was fresh, it was beautiful green. It starts dying and dying and dying. The first time cost us a few seconds. Second time cost us, minutes. The third, like 30 minutes, I think. And then the next time was a week. Now it's been a year. Um, After the year, it's probably been like I'm saying it's something like 8 to 10 years. I'm just guessing to the point where the narrator's gone, and now it leaves us with the question: was this game better with the narrator's annoyingness, or do we? Is it better in the silence? So basically, they like, all right, you don't appreciate the narrator, we're gonna take him away from you. So let's see what happens next. The fuck is that?
But
Not
they
dealing with
didn't
that sound.
understand the game was never meant to be funny. It was meant to have a point. It was meant to speak to the human condition.
And
But
now he's
where are the
back.
jokes? Where are the jokes? They bemoaned, they screamed, they gnashed their teeth and said, entertain
Are we
us.
gonna
It wasn't enough. They
listen?
had to leave a pathetic little
Nope.
thumbs down.
And now he's gone again. And now the button's broken. Nope, it's back.
The end is never the end, is never the end, is never the end, is never
He's just
the
gonna keep
end, is
repeating
never
that.
the end, is
I
never
know
the
it.
end, is never the end, is never the end, is never the end, is never.
Ooh, that's different. Something leaking over here. Pipes. They're all fucked up. Thought it could mean something. It's a random chair, so someone's observing this. I can take from that that someone's observing this. We're being observed still. Okay, and then okay, the water damage that came down because is that a way out? No, but it looks like it sounds like some type of weird ass windstorm out there. And now there's a way up, but we can't access it. Well, this isn't the way. The button is back. Let's go into the future. By now, everyone we know is probably dead. It's nice that we get to see this stuff, but what does this have to do with the game? Time continues to fly, and we continue to not die. Here we go. I just don't get it. Still no door. Hearing weird ass sounds. What the fuck is that? That's what I imagine a dragon would sound like. Forward in time. Finally, the button is gone, and there's a way out. So I'm guessing some post-apocalyptic shit happened. Now I feel like we're in Fallout. I just want to look at the surroundings of this facility or whatever it was. Alright. I definitely didn't expect this. But if I was in a survival situation like this and I just came up out of bunker, I would look for the first sign of life. Like if that in front of me, for example, was a smokestack, I'd head towards there with caution. That's like a mountain range over there. Might be able to get some decent shelter from the elements, but I'm not a survival specialist. Okay, I guess that was another ending that we discovered. Uh, and we're back. Whew, I think we're gonna do one more. We're gonna try to get one more ending here, and then pick this up next time
All
for
of his
more fun
co-workers were
in
gone.
the
What could
Stanley
it mean?
Parable. And you're tapped
Stanley
in with your
decided to
boy
go to the meeting room.
Grammune.
Perhaps he had simply missed a memo.
Yeah, I definitely missed the memo. Maybe we'll be able to go through these doors too or something. Alright. Wait, what the fuck? New content. They added a... For now, I always wanted to do this.
When Stanley came to a set of two open doors, this was not the correct way to the meeting room, and Stanley knew it perfectly well. Perhaps he wanted to stop by the employee lounge first, just to admire it.
The employee lounge. Let's check this out.
Yes, truly a room worth admiring. It had really been worth the detour after all, just to spend a few moments here in this immaculate, beautifully constructed room. Stanley simply stood here, drinking it all in.
One soda machine. And then a coffee mug on the floor. Why are the tables so far? This table's so low to the ground.
Really, really worth it being here.
Can you really enjoy coffee in here?
A room so utterly captivating that he was but eager to get back to business. Stanley took the first open door on his left.
Do I want to take the open door on my left? All right, fine.
And so he detoured through the maintenance section, walked straight ahead to the opposite door, and got back on track.
So many choices.
Yet there was not a single person
we got
here
a lot
either.
of choices to
Feeling
do
a wave of disbelief, Stanley decided to go up to his boss's. Coming to a staircase, Stanley walked upstairs to his boss's office.
Damn, now I want to go downstairs too. I can see there's a bulk of this game I still have yet to see.
Okay, I think we all know the drill by now. Blah, blah, blah. Dark secrets, the keypad. Stanley pushes some buttons. Oh, hey, look, it's a new passageway. Kill
I didn't even have to put the keypad in. I didn't even have to put the code in the keypad. That was pretty cool. You already knew what to expect.
Stanley walked straight ahead through the large door that read
Mind
Control Facility.
Going straight.
The lights rose on an enormous room packed with television screens. What horrible secret did this place hold? Stanley thought to himself. Did he have the strength to find out?
Like your favorite game. That would be insane. Moving on. Button.
Now the monitors jumped to life, their true nature revealed. Each bore the number of an employee in the building, Stanley's co-workers. The lives of so many individuals reduced to images on a screen, and Stanley, one of them, eternally monitored in this place where freedom meant nothing.
There you go.
This mind control facility, it was too horrible to believe. It couldn't be true. Had Stanley really been under someone's control all this time? Was this the only reason he was happy with his boring job? That his emotions had been manipulated to accept it blindly?
Yes. Yes, that is true.
No. He refused to believe it. He couldn't accept it. His own life in someone else's control? Never. It was unthinkable, wasn't it? Was it even possible?
Why that number say
Had he truly spent his entire life utterly blind to the world?
Had he?
But here was the proof. The heart of the operation. Controls labeled with emotions. Happy or sad or content. Walking, eating, working. All of it monitored and commanded from his very place.
Here's the decision,
and as the cold reality of his past began to sink in, Stanley decided that this machinery would never again... Oh, Stanley, you didn't just activate the controls, did you? After they kept you enslaved all these years, you go and you try to take control of the machine for yourself. Is that what you wanted? Control?
That's right. That's what I want.
Stanley, I applaud your effort, I really do. But you need to understand, there's only so much that machine can do. You were supposed to let it go. Turn the controls off and leave. If you want to throw my story off track, you're going to have to do much better than that. I'm afraid you don't have nearly the power you think you do. For example, and I believe you'll find this pertinent, Stanley suddenly realized he had just initiated the network's emergency detonation system. In the event that this machine is activated without proper DNA identification, nuclear detonators are said to explode, eliminating the entire complex.
Really?
How long until detonation then? Let's say, 2 minutes. Ah, now this is making things a little more fun, isn't it, Stanley? It's your time to shine. You are the star. It's your story now.
Okay.
Shape it to your heart's desires. Oh, this is much better than what I had in mind. What a shame we have so little time left to enjoy it. Mere moments until the bomb goes off. But what precious moments each one of them is. More time to talk about you, about me, where we're going, what all this means. I barely know where to start. What's that? You'd like to know where your co-workers are? A moment of solace before you're obliterated? All right, I'm in a good mood. You're gonna die anyway. I'll tell you exactly what happened to them. I erased them. I turned off the machine. I set you free. Of course, that was merely in this instance of the story. Sometimes when I tell it, I simply let you sit there in your office forever, pushing buttons endlessly and then dying alone. Other times, I let the office sink into the ground, swallowing everyone inside, or I let it burn to a crisp. I have to say this, though, this version of events has been rather amusing. Watching you try to make sense of everything and take back the control wrested away from you, it's quite rich. I almost hate to see it go. But I'm sure whatever I come up with on the next go-around will be even better. My goodness, only 34 seconds left. But I'm enjoying this so much. You know what? To hell with it. I'm going to put some extra time on the clock. Why not? These are precious additional seconds, Stanley. Time doesn't grow on trees. Oh dear me, what's the matter, Stanley? Is it that you have no idea where you're going or what you're supposed to be doing right now? Or did you just assume when you saw that timer that something in this room was capable of turning it off?
I don't think that at all.
Running from button to button, screen to screen, clicking on every little thing in this room. These numbered buttons,
I'm just curious,
these
bro.
colored ones, or maybe this big red button, or this door. Everything, anything, something here will save me. Why would you think that, Stanley? That this video game can be beaten? One
This is where I can
solved?
use that skip
Do
button
you
from
have
earlier.
any
Am I
idea
right?
what your purpose in this place is? Stanley, you're in for quite a disappointment. But here's a spoiler for you. That timer isn't a catalyst to keep the action moving along. It's just seconds ticking away to your death. You're only still playing instead of watching a cutscene because I want to watch you for every moment that you're powerless. To see you made humble.
Think so?
This is not a challenge.
All right.
It's a tragedy. You wanted to control this world, that's fine.
Yeah.
But I'm going to destroy it first, so you can't. Take a look at the clock, Stanley. That's 30 seconds you have left to struggle. 30 seconds until a big boom and then nothing. No ending here, just you being blown to pieces. Will you cling desperately to your frail life, or will you let it go peacefully? Another choice. Make it count, or don't. It's all the same to me, all a part of the joke. And believe me, I will be laughing at every second of your inevitable life from the moment we fade in until the moment I say, happily ever after.
Okay. That was the mind control on ending. Back to business.
How long was I sitting there? Stanley wondered to himself. Minutes? Days? Centuries? Did something crucial happen while my senses were turned? He made a note to be more careful with time from now on.
Still could go down to new content, but I think this
When
time
Stanley
we're gonna go
came
here.
to a set of 2 open doors, this was not the correct way to the meeting room, and Stanley knew it perfectly well. Perhaps he wanted to stop by the employee lounge first, just to
We're
admire
gonna
it.
go employee lounge, then we're gonna go
Wow.
break.
Yes, this room. But eager to get back to business,
'Cause I think we
Stanley
took
took the
left last
first
time.
open door on his left.
Yeah, and then there was that little elevator too. So we're gonna go straight this time and see what happens here.
Stanley was so bad at following directions, it's incredible he wasn't fired years ago.
Dude, we're just gonna keep going and see how many of these endings we can find. I don't care.
Look, Stanley, I think perhaps we've gotten off on the wrong foot.
Is there a way
here.
for us to go there?
I'm not your enemy, really, I'm not. I realize that investing your trust in someone else can be difficult, but the fact is that the story has been about nothing but you all this time. But in his eagerness to prove that he is in control of the story and no one gets to tell him what to do,
I guess that's a
Stanley leapt from the platform and
part of the
plunged
platform.
to his
I
death.
did not move forward on that.
Good job, Stanley. Everyone thinks you are very powerful.
Thanks, narrator. Let's try this again. What?
Good morning. Thank you for contacting the Future Happiness Foundation. We are confirming your shipment of 1,327 cardboard boxes to your place of work. Can you verify that this is correct?
Yeah, this is correct.
Understood.
What the fuck?
Your order will be canceled immediately. Thank you again for contacting the Future Happiness Foundation.
Future Happiness Foundation. I mean, is that important? Are we supposed to know that? Future Happiness Foundation? Is that who Stanley works for? Again, we're going to skip the new content. We're going to go straight, take a right.
When Stanley came to a set of two open doors, this was not the correct way to the meeting room, and Stanley knew it perfectly well.
Still.
Perhaps he wanted to stop by the employee lounge first, just to admire it. The lounge was sublime, a work of art. But eager to get back to business, Stanley took the first open door on his left.
Who knows?
Stanley was so bad at following directions, it's incredible he wasn't fired years ago.
Although, need a key card for that. Alright, let's go.
Look, Stanley, I think perhaps we've gotten off on the wrong foot here. I'm not your enemy, really, I'm not. I realize that investing your trust in someone else can be difficult, but the fact is that the story has been about nothing but you all this time. There's someone you've been neglecting, Stanley. Someone you've forgotten about. Please, stop trying to make every decision by yourself. Now, I'm not asking for me, I'm asking for her. This is it, Stanley. Your chance to redeem yourself, to put your work aside, to let her back into your life. She's been waiting.
She's been waiting? Who's her? I know in Severance, the show, the main character's wife is actually a never mind. Spoiler alert. Spoiler alert.
That's her, Stanley. You need to be the one to do this, to reach out to her. If you can truly place your faith in another, then pick up the phone.
Maybe it's like the same type of thing they're going for. Okay.
Oh, Stanley, is that you? Hold on, sweetie. Sorry to keep you waiting. I'm just pulling the bread out of the oven. All right. Okay, there we go. All right, now, I want you to come in and tell me all about your day.
What the fuck?
Gotcha. Oh, come on. Did you actually think you had a loving wife who'd want to commit their life to you? I'm trying to make a point here, Stanley. I'm trying to get you to see something. Come inside. Let me show you what's really going on here.
Nah.
Sorry, but you're in my story now.
Damn. I knew he was sinister.
This is a very sad story about the death of a man named Stanley.
She got a little thing on her. I'm not gonna lie. Wifey's a little slim thick.
Stanley is quite a boring fellow. He has a job that demands nothing of him, and every button that he pushes is a reminder of the inconsequential nature of his existence.
Okay.
Look at him there, pushing buttons, doing exactly what he's told to do. Now he's pushing a button. Now he's eating lunch. Now he's going home. Now he's coming back to work. One might even feel sorry for him, except that he's chosen this life.
Okay, he chose this life.
But in his mind, in his mind he can go on fantastic adventures. From behind his desk, Stanley dreamed of wild expeditions into the unknown, fantastic discoveries of new lands. It was wonderful. And each day that he returned to work was a reminder that none of it would ever happen to him. And so he began to fantasize about his own job. First, he imagined that one day while at work, he stepped up from his desk to realize that all of his co-workers, his boss, everyone in the building had suddenly vanished off the face of the earth. The thought excited him terribly.
Spend time with the boys?
So he went further. He imagined that he came to two open doors and that he could go through either. At last, choice. It barely even mattered what lay behind each door. The mere thought that his decisions would mean something was almost too wonderful to behold. As he wandered through this fantasy world, he began to fill it with many possible paths and destinations. Down one path lay an enormous round room with monitors and mind controls.
So he's describing the game.
And down another was a yellow line that weaved in many directions. And down another was a game with a baby. And he called it the Stanley Parable.
All right. Tell your kids a story. All right. That's very weird. Didn't know the dude had kids, but all right.
It was such a wonderful fantasy, and so in his head he relived it again, and then again, and again, over and over, wishing beyond hope that it would never end, that he might always feel this free. Surely there's an answer down some new path, mustn't there be? Perhaps if he played just one more time.
Tell your wife you love her. I guess this is going to send me back.
But there is no answer. How could there possibly be? In reality, all he's doing is pushing the same buttons he always has. Nothing has changed. The longer he spends here, the more invested he gets, the more he forgets which life is the real one. And I'm trying to tell him this, that in this world he can never be anything but an observer, that as long as he remains here, he's slowly killing himself.
Isn't he already dead?
But he won't listen to me.
Isn't that what they said earlier? He's already dead?
Watch this. Stanley, the next time the screen asks you to push a button, do not do it.
All right, we're just going to not press that button. See what happens. And I think this is one of those things where, like, in Far Cry, where the boss, you start off the game and there's a mission where, like, you have to move with the boss or whatever, and if you stand still for like 2 minutes or 5 minutes, you automatically skip forward to beat the game. Something like that. I feel like this is something like that, because this game is so intricate that it's gonna notice that we just gave up at like the 30-second mark and chose to press the button. And if we do wait for a long enough period of time, I'm sure there's gonna be some type of input from the director noting how long it's been. So we're gonna wait about a minute here. If not, we're just gonna press the button. I mean, this is hella boring. You guys have the luxury of being able to just skip forward. I gotta sit here and wait to see if this actually does anything. It might be for nothing. Do I wait much longer? Or are we just gonna wait until that uh, that hand goes forward? Uh, mm-hmm. 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Nothing.
You see? Can he just not hear me? How can I tell him in a way that he'll understand that every second he remains here, he's electing to kill himself? How can I get him to see what I see? How can I make him look at himself? I suppose I can't, not in the way I want him to. But I don't make the rules. I simply play to my intended purpose, the same as Stanley. We're not so different, I suppose. I'll try once more to convey all this to him. I'm compelled to. I must. Perhaps, well, maybe this time he'll see. Maybe this time. And I tried again, and Stanley pushed a button. And I tried again, and Stanley pushed a button. And I tried.
Okay, so that's what going down that weird little.
All of his co-workers were gone. What could it mean? Stanley decided to go to the meeting room. Perhaps he had simply missed a memo.
New content. Gonna skip. I have an idea.
When Stanley came to a set of 2 open doors, this was not the correct way to the meeting room, and Stanley knew it perfectly well. Perhaps he wanted to stop by the employee lounge first, just to admire it.
Back rooms? No, the back rooms.
Standing now in this incredible room, Stanley for the first, but eager to get back to business, Stanley took the first open door on his left.
Yes, I did.
And so he detoured through the maintenance section, walked straight ahead to the opposite door, and got back on track.
What we got? What we got?
But Stanley didn't want to go back to the office. He wanted to wander about and get even further off track.
That's right.
So now in order to get back, he needed to go, from here, it's, left. Oh, no, it's to the right, my mistake. No, not the right. Why would I have ever said it was to the right? What was I thinking? It's clearly... Oh, dear, would you hold on for a minute, please?
Come on, narrator.
Now, let's see.
Pick a place,
right,
my dude.
Left, down, left, right. Yep, okay, yes. I've got it now. This story is absolutely, definitely this way.
Am I about to get ran over by this car? Nope. What is it? What? The same room?
No. This isn't right at all. You're not supposed to be here yet. This is all a
above
spoiler.
the platform.
Quick, Stanley, close your eyes. Okay. We just have to get back to, oh, who am I kidding? It's all rubbish now. The whole story completely unusable. How about, rather than waste my time trying to salvage this nonsense, we'll just restart the game from the beginning. And this time, suppose we don't wander so far off track, Okay, from the top.
84, 85. I wish I had enough time to look.
All of his co-workers were gone. What could it mean? Stanley decided to go to the meeting room. Perhaps he had simply missed a memo.
This time we're gonna go down, towards the bosses. What the fuck?
When Stanley... Wait, what? No, I restarted. I swear, I definitely restarted the game over, completely fresh.
What is
Everything
going
should
on?
Oh, did something change? Stanley, did you change anything when we were back in that room with all the monitors? Did you move the story somewhere, or... Hold on. Why am I asking you? I'm the one who wrote the story. It was right here just a minute ago. I know for sure that it's here somewhere. Okay, then. It's an adventure. Come, Stanley. Let's find the story.
I'm going this way, pal. Is it all the same? Oh, wait, there's that bluish door down there. Is this the way I came? It's not. Oh, this is all the same.
I'll
Everything
say
is
it.
the same.
This is the worst adventure I've ever been on. I can promise you there definitely was a story here before. Do we need to restart the game again?
You're
Well,
probably going to
unlikely
restart
that
the
we'll
game.
ever progress by starting over and over again, but it's got to be better than this. Okay, let's give it a shot. Why not?
Dog. Back here, what a
All
surprise.
of his co-workers were gone. What could it mean? Stanley decided to go to the meeting room. Perhaps he had simply missed a memo.
Oh, 416's back. It's no more new content.
Yep, it's worse. I might be remembering this wrong. It's possible the story is back where we just came from. Why don't we go back the other direction and see if we missed anything?
Spilled coffee. Exhibit A.
Aha! I knew we'd miss something. The story. Here it comes. No, wait. Never mind. Not the story. Okay, let's head back the other way and retrace our steps.
Narrator, have you been drinking, bro? What the fuck is this?
Now this... Well, I'll be honest. I don't recognize this place at all. Is this the story? I don't think so.
I don't know where this
I can't
is.
quite recall, but I believe my story took place in an
wanna
office
go
building.
home.
Is that correct? Do you remember, Stanley? Well, do you know what? Since I've completely forgotten what we were supposed to be doing, how about this? You win! Congratulations! I know you put in a lot of hard work, and it really paid off. So, good job. Oh, no.
That doesn't feel very rewarding.
I don't feel right about this at all. We both know you didn't put in any actual work for that win.
What?
Some people win fair and square, and this was not one of those situations. Okay, I'm getting weirded out by whatever this place is. I don't care what might happen this time. I have to restart.
Just restart then, Mr. Narrator. Okay. Now we have a...
All right, I've got a solution. This time, to make sure we don't get lost, I've employed the help of the Stanley Parable Adventure Line. Just follow the line. How simple is that?
This is, man, this is so... This is where the decisions become hard, right? Because clearly you have to follow the line. But what happens if you don't? What happens if you just chaotic nature?
No, I'm down. We're leaving it up to the line from now on.
All right, looks like we have to go to the line. Hey, but it was worth a shot, right? So back to the line. 4B6. It's not an employee number.
You see? The line knows where the
four
story
question
is.
B?
It's over in this direction. Onward, Stanley, to destiny. Nope. Here's a thought. Wouldn't wherever we end up be our destination, even if there's no story there? Or to put it another way, is the story of no destination still a story? Simply by the act of moving forward, Are we implying a journey such that a destination is
Man,
inevitably
this dude,
conjured into
he
being
sure can talk,
via
am
the
I
very
right?
manifestation of the nature of life itself? Okay, Stanley, I need to follow this train of thought for a minute. Just stick with me. Now, we can both agree that the nature of existence is in fact a byproduct of one's subjective experience of that existence, right? Okay. Now, if my
480,
experience of your existence
482,
rests inside of your
481.
subjective experience of this office, is this
Everybody
office in
locks their
fact
doors in
the
this office.
skeleton
What
of
type
my
of office
own
is-
relative
We already know the office
experiential
is
mental
funny.
subjective construct?
Mad sus.
Hang on. That got a bit weird back
But
there.
locking
Well, I'd
every
like
door?
to apologize. Not sure where I was going with all that. You know what? I think what we need right now is a bit of music to lighten the mood.
Oh, I could have just went this way. Skip all of that. This music is ass. Ass. We don't need it. This is gonna keep going, man.
Cut the music, go back, and look at that fern.
Oh my goodness. Why the fuck would I look at that fern, bro?
Wait, what? We're back at the
Tired of
office?
this shenanigans.
No. Line, you do know we're looking for the Stanley Parable, right? The story? Is any of this ringing a bell? Oh, no, not again, Line. How could you have done this to us? And after we trusted you, after everything we've been through, you... Well, I can't take this anymore. To hell with it.
104 got
Restart.
Start again.
You know what, Stanley? I say forget the adventure line. What's it ever done for us? We're intelligent people, right? Why can't we make up our own story? Something exciting, daring, mysterious. Ooh, this all sounds perfectly doable. Why don't we simply start wandering in, well, I don't know. How about this direction?
Okay.
Now, yes, this is exciting. Just me and Stanley forging a
This
new
is a
path, a new
huge-
story. Well, it could be anything.
Huge
What do you
workplace,
want
by
our
the
story
way.
to be? Go wild. Use your imagination. Whatever it might be, Stanley, I'm ready for it.
It was an aqua circle? I thought it was.
Oh, no, not you again. Stanley, I'd also like to veto the line from having any role in our awesome new story. No lines or monitor rooms. Just don't acknowledge it, and we should be fine. Ah, a choice. We get to make a decision. From here, the story is in our control. How important we mustn't squander the opportunity. In fact, I believe I need a minute to think here. Just walk in circles for a minute. Okay, so I know that each door has to lead somewhere, which means that somewhere, the place where we're trying to go, there must be a reverse door that leads here. And that in turn means that our destination corresponds with the counter-inverted reverse door's origin. So starting from the right, let us ask, will taking the right door lead us to where we're going? And since the answer is clearly yes, then by all accounts, the door on the right is the correct one. Another victory for logic. Come, Stanley, our destiny awaits.
Okay.
Oh, hold up, what's this? The confusion ending.
The confusion
You're telling
ending.
me
Is this
that's what this is?
on?
It's all one giant ending?
First
And we're supposed to restart the game eight times?
Office is now a dead end.
That's really how all this goes?
In another building? Wait.
Determined? So now, according to the schedule, I restart again. Then what? Am I just supposed to forget? Well, what if I don't want to forget? My mind goes blank simply because it's written here on this thing, wall. Well, who consulted me? Why don't I get to decide? Why don't I get a say in all of this? Is it really? No, it can't be. I don't want it to be. I don't want the game to keep restarting. I don't want to forget what's going on. I don't want to be trapped like this. I won't restart the game. I won't do it. I won't do it. I won't do it. And the timer stopped? Does that mean, did we do it? Did we break the cycle? The, whatever it is that made this schedule? How would we even know? Will someone come for us? Will something happen? So, okay. I guess now we just wait, you know. I suppose in some way that this is a kind of story, wouldn't you agree? I'm not quite sure if we're in the destination or the journey, though they're always saying that life is about the journey and not the destination. So I hope that's where we are right now.
Okay.
We'll find out, won't we? Eventually.
Just restart
in the meantime, if you...
What the fuck? Alright, that was creepy, kinda, but... Maybe it was the same Fallout situation we experienced earlier.
Someone was following Stanley. He was sure of it. If he checked over his shoulder now, he would surely catch them. It was only a matter of time.
Whatever. Now we're back to the new content.
When Stanley came to a set of 2 open doors, he entered the door on his left. This was not the correct way to the meeting room, and Stanley knew it perfectly well. Perhaps he wanted to stop by the employee lounge first, just to admire it. Stanley felt lightheaded, butterflies in his stomach, giddy in a way he had never known before. Was it this room? A connection between the two? Could a man love a room? I mean, truly, deeply, madly, love.
Okay.
But eager to get back to business, Stanley took the first open door on his left.
Well, we're gonna take the first
And so he
door.
detoured through the maintenance section, walked straight ahead to the opposite door, and got back on track.
Yeah, don't worry.
Yet there was not a single person here either. Feeling a wave of disbelief, Stanley decided to go up to his boss's. Coming to a staircase, Stanley walked upstairs to his boss's office. But Stanley just couldn't do it. He considered the possibility of facing his boss, admitting he had left his post during work hours. He might be fired for that. And in such a competitive economy, why had he taken that risk? All because he believed everyone had vanished? His boss would think he was crazy. And then something occurred to Stanley. Maybe, he thought to himself, maybe I am crazy. All of my co-workers blinking mysteriously out of existence in a single moment for no reason at all? None of it made any logical sense. And as Stanley pondered this, he began to make other strange observations. For example, why couldn't he see his feet when he looked down? Why did doors close automatically behind him wherever he went? And for that matter, these rooms were starting to look pretty familiar. Were they simply repeating?
Yes.
No, Stanley said to himself, this is all too strange. This can't be real. And at last, he came to the conclusion that had been on the tip of his tongue. He just hadn't found the words for it. I'm dreaming! he yelled. "This is all a dream." Oh, what a
It was
relief
all a
Stanley
dream.
felt
I used to
to
read
have
Word Up
finally found an
magazine.
answer,
Salt
an
and pepper and Heavy
explanation.
D up in the
His
limousine.
co-workers weren't actually gone. He wasn't going to lose his job. He wasn't crazy after all. And he thought to himself, I suppose I'll wake up soon. I'll have to go back to my boring real-life job pushing buttons. I may as well enjoy this while I'm still lucid. So he imagined himself flying and began to gently float above the ground. Then he imagined himself soaring through space on a magical starfield, and it too appeared. It was so much fun, and Stanley marveled that he had still not woken up. How was he remaining so lucid? And then perhaps the strangest question of them all entered Stanley's head. One he was amazed he hadn't asked himself sooner. Why is there a voice in my head dictating everything that I'm doing and thinking? Now the voice was describing itself being considered by Stanley, who found it particularly strange. I'm dreaming about a voice describing me, thinking about how it's describing my thoughts, he thought. And while he thought it all very odd and wondered if this voice spoke to all people in their dreams, the truth was that, of course, this was not a dream. How could it be? Was Stanley
Narrator,
simply
bro.
deceiving
Come
himself,
on, man.
believing that if he's asleep, he doesn't have to take responsibility for himself? Stanley is as awake right now as he's ever been in his life.
Get up in
Now, hearing the
Honda.
voice speak these words was quite a shock to Stanley. After all, he knew for certain, beyond a doubt, that this was in fact a dream. Did the voice not see him float and make the magical stars just a moment ago? How else would the voice explain all that? This voice was a part of himself too. Surely, if he could just... He would prove it. He would prove that he was in control, that this was a dream. So he closed his eyes gently, and he invited himself to wake up. He felt the cool weight of the blanket on his skin, the press of the mattress on his back, the fresh air of a world outside this one. Let me wake up, he thought to himself. I'm through with this dream. I wish it to be over. Let me go back to my job. Let me continue pushing the buttons. Please,
He's a slave.
it's all I want.
Damn, just push
I
a
want my
button.
apartment and my wife and my job. All I want is my life exactly the way it's always been. My life is normal. I am normal. Everything will
The
be fine.
simulation, devil on my back, and the
I
evil
am
follow me.
Okay.
But he was still in the damn office.
Stanley began screaming. Please, someone, wake me up. My name is Stanley. I have a boss. I have an office. I am real. Please, just someone
the
tell me
first
I am
thing he
real.
says.
I
I
must
have a
be
boss.
real. I must be. Can anyone
have an
hear my
office.
voice? Who am I? Who am I? And everything went black.
So I'm guessing we died again.
This is the story of a woman named Mariella.
Mariella.
Mariella woke up on a day like any other. She arose, got dressed, gathered her belongings, and walked to her place
No,
of work.
that's his wife.
But on this particular day, her walk was interrupted by the body of a man who had stumbled through town talking and screaming to himself, and then collapsed dead on the sidewalk. And although she would soon turn to go call for an ambulance, for just a few brief moments she considered the strange man. He was obviously crazy. This much she knew. Everyone knows what crazy people look like. And in that moment, she thought to herself how lucky she was to be normal. I am sane. I am in control of my mind. I know what is real and what
So she
isn't.
sees a dead body and praises
It was
herself.
comforting to
That's
think
crazy.
this, and in a certain way, seeing this man made her feel better.
Seeing a
Then she
dead dude
remembered
made
the
her feel
meeting she
better
had scheduled for that day.
about herself.
The very important people whose impressions
Oh.
of her would affect her career, and by extension, the rest of her life. She had no time for this, so it was only a moment that she stood there, staring down at the body. And then she turned and ran.
Don't know what type of ending that was. It was weird.
All of his co-workers were gone. What could it mean?
Man.
Stanley decided to go to the meeting room. Perhaps he had simply missed a memo.
Okay, so we're gonna try one more here, and then we're gonna go to new content.
When Stanley came to a set of 2 open doors, he entered the door on his left.
Meeting room. What can I possibly do?
Yet there was not a single person here either. Feeling a wave of disbelief, Stanley decided to go up to his boss's office, hoping he might find... Coming to a staircase, Stanley walked upstairs to his boss's
went down
office.
Before. Gonna go to the boss's office. Does this door ever open? Executive bathroom? Okay. Because the boss knows that what the boss says goes. If the boss suffered losses, then that's what the boss... Okay. That's a nice little rhyme there. Oh? Oh, shit. Oh. Whoa, this was unexpected. But I thought the boss's office was the top floor. This is very new. Elevator music though. Classic. We're going pretty high up here. Like we're moving pretty fast. Going pretty high. It's very weird. Peculiar. Wait, so we didn't even go nowhere? That shit was just rumbling for no reason? That is ass. Watch, I'm gonna press it again and then nothing. Wow. We got gypped, folks. We got gypped.
Here's the door, just go.
Alright, dude, calm down. Well, have we go?
Stanley walked straight ahead through the large door that read Mind Control Facility.
You sure did.
The lights rose on an enormous room packed with television screens. What horrible secret did this place hold? Stanley thought to himself. Did he have the strength to find out? Now the monitors jumped to life, their true nature revealed. Each bore the number of an employee in the building, Stanley's co-workers. The lives of so many individuals reduced to images on a screen, and Stanley, one of them, eternally monitored in this place where freedom meant nothing.
Where's 426? Here we go. That's Stanley's office.
This mind control facility, it was too horrible to believe. It couldn't be true. Had Stanley really been under someone's control all this time? Was this the only reason he was happy with his boring job? That his emotions had been manipulated to accept it blindly?
Yep.
No. He refused to believe it. He couldn't accept it. His own life in someone else's control? Never. It was unthinkable, wasn't it? Was it even possible? Had he truly spent his entire life utterly blind to the world? But here was the proof. The heart of the operation. Controls labeled with emotions. Happy, or sad, or content. Walking, eating, working. All of it monitored and commanded from this very place. And as the cold reality of his past began to sink in, Stanley decided that this machinery would never again exert its terrible power over another human life. For he would dismantle...
I'm gonna shut it off again. Because if we turn it on, we already seen what ending that gave us, so I guess we're shutting it off is the easiest way to go back to.
And a rising chill of uncertainty. Was it
the
over?
Beginning.
Yes. He had won. He had defeated the machine. Unshackled himself from someone else's command. Freedom was mere moments away. And yet, even as the immense door slowly opened, Stanley reflected on how many puzzles still lay unsolved. Where had his co-workers gone? How had he been freed from the machine's grasp? What other mysteries did this strange building hold? But as sunlight streamed into the chamber, he realized none of this mattered to him, for it was not knowledge or even power that he had been seeking, but happiness. Perhaps his goal had not been to understand, but to let go. No longer would anyone tell him where to go, what to do, or how to feel. Whatever life he lives, it will be his. And that was all he needed to know. It was perhaps the only thing worth knowing. Stanley stepped through the open door. Stanley felt the cool breeze upon his skin, the feeling of liberation, the immense possibility of the new path before him. This was exactly the way, right now, that things were meant to happen. And Stanley was happy.
Okay.
All of his co-workers were gone. What could it mean? Stanley decided to go to the meeting room. Perhaps he had simply missed a memo.
All right, new content.
Oh, good. You noticed my sign. Yes, I have something very exciting to show you. You see, Stanley, I've been reflecting on the Stanley Parable and about how roundly disappointing this ultra-deluxe version has turned out to be. The original Stanley Parable was a landmark, and any new content for it should live up to that legacy. So forget this ultra-deluxe nonsense. I say we take it one step even further. Which is why I'm very proud to announce for the first time ever, the Stanley Parable 2.
Did we just skip a whole bunch of content and
Yes,
end
you
up
see,
in the Stanley
isn't
Parable
this far
2?
superior to a measly port with a few minor additions? Think of all the new territory we'll cover with a fully fledged sequel. An entirely new experience, built from the ground up. Why, there are so many possibilities. It could go in so many different directions. This is what fans have truly been asking for.
3, 2, Oba, tu, re, dos, tu.
Calling it the Stanley Parable 2 is just so much catchier than Ultra Deluxe, don't you think? Ultra Deluxe? What does it even mean? But the Stanley Parable 2, now that's an artistic statement right there. It's future-oriented. It screams progress and innovation and long-term franchising potential. Now, to be clear, I haven't quite nailed down what exactly the Stanley Parable 2 is going to be, but let's take a look at some of the features I've been developing for it. I figure that if I can loosely organize a handful of interesting concepts, that surely the game will sort of naturally spring up around them. It'll all work itself out. Game development is much more of a fuzzy magic than anything scientific or logical, really. Here we are. Go on. Try out some of the new features.
Free, new, easy trophy. Get it here.
Now, here's something special. You remember that broken test trophy that got left in the game on accident? Well, I'm developing a technology to simply give you the trophy. Yes, you see, you'll come... Okay, perhaps I should have clarified. This is technology that will exist. Right now, the trophy is still fully broken. I'm not a wizard, Stanley, but I guarantee it will be fixed in the sequel to at last satisfy the hordes of ravenous fans all over the world who have been uproariously demanding this feature. Gamers, we hear you, and I promise it will happen. What else? What other exhibits haven't we seen yet? Stanley, here's an idea that I'm truly fond of. It's never been done before in a video game. This is, in fact, a hole that you can fall down forever. That's right. Infinite falling. You can fall until the end of time, if you like. A stunning leap forward for video games as a medium. You see, isn't it wonderful? One of my more ingenious concoctions, if I do say so. Now then, since you've gotten to see the infinite hole, you can press the teleport button to pop back up to the top, and we can continue onward. Now, I don't mean to be a bummer, but I do recommend you use the teleport button to go back to the top. Maybe do it on the sooner rather than later spectrum of things. Okay, Stanley, I don't know quite how to say this tactfully, but it's possible that I slightly exaggerated the infinite nature of the hole. Is it a very, very deep hole? To be certain it is. It's an extremely deep hole. I don't want anyone to say that it isn't an astonishingly deep hole. It is. Is it infinite? Well, that's sort of deep. Great. Now, I'm very excited to show you even more of my ideas for the sequel. Oh, goodness. Stanley, this is very awkward. I hate to do this, but before you leave, you really should go to both the exhibits for the bucket and the collectibles. You see, there's a surprise I was going to spring on you later, and it involves both of them. And I really do hate to break the illusion, but it's important that you go see the collectibles and the bucket, okay? All right, I'll get out of your hair now. Ah, collectibles. Now it's a real video game. In the Stanley Parable 2, you'll run around gathering up these miniature Stanley figurines. And what's truly innovative is that there will be no reward for collecting all of them. I don't want to stifle the intrinsic joy of watching a number go up. You simply collect all of them, and then you move the hell on with your unremarkable life.
Okay.
God, it really is the worst when you collect everything in a video game and then they give you a big fancy reward for it. Absolutely tragic. You know what? Let's bring the jump circle back for Stanley Parable 2 as well. It's a... Oh, wait. You already spent all your jumps the first time we saw the jump circle. Oh, well. I suppose it can just be a nice decorative piece then.
Did he say? Oh, there's the bucket.
A common complaint of the Stanley Parable was that it was confusing and paradoxical, that it engendered a chaotic sense of reckless despair in those who played it. Well, I'm happy to say that after much consideration, I've engineered a clever solution to this fundamental problem with the game. It's the Stanley Parable Reassurance Bucket. You see, Stanley, anytime you're holding the bucket, a sense of calm and ease will fill your mind and your heart. It's true. As long as you hold on to the bucket, the many disorienting contradictions of the Stanley
man, but
Parable
what does this
will feel
do?
perfectly normal and perhaps even comforting. You may even come to long for the gentle embrace of jarring cognitive dissonance while the bucket is in your arms. And to be honest, it's a much more convenient solution for me than actually redesigning the game to be less uncomfortable. Can you imagine what a pain in the ass that would be? Yes, the bucket is the perfect solution. Come on, give it a try.
They weren't lying when they said that the narrator talks a lot.
Can you feel it? The glow of comfort, even in the face of crushing despair, must already be sweeping through your body. And in fact, can I say that I do believe the bucket lends you an air of charisma as well? I think that just holding it has made you the slightest bit more attractive as a person. The benefits of the bucket seem to go on, don't they? All this and more await you in the Stanley Parable 2.
Whoop-de-woo.
Does anyone give out awards for most enjoyable bucket in a video game? That really should be an award if it isn't already.
Hear your name
For
in
the
game.
Stanley Parable 2, I asked myself, what do players really want? And of course, the first and most obvious answer is that they want to be individually recognized and validated as people.
Jim.
Sorry,
Nope.
I should have clarified. Right now, the button only says the name Jim. But of course, in the final game, this button will say your name, whatever name that is. Here, let's have you role-play as Jim to really simulate the full experience of this feature. Just play along. I promise you'll love it. Okay, here we go. Let's take a deep breath, clear your mind, forget whoever you are, and simply become a person named Jim. I want you to imagine yourself...
Jim.
Whoa, hold on. I wasn't finished setting up the backstory. If you don't properly roleplay as Jim, then you'll never understand the impact of this button. Otherwise, it's just a stupid button that says somebody else's name. Okay, we're doing it again, and this time let me finish first. Now, Allow yourself to become Jim.
Mm-hmm.
Imagine yourself driving to work as Jim, playing
I'm
frisbee on the
Jim now.
weekends as Jim, staying up all night for a popcorn and horror movie sleepover as Jim, developing a crippling substance addiction as Jim.
What?
Rediscovering yourself through fringe religious groups as Jim, and finally dying a slow death at an old age, surrounded by members of your cult as Jim.
That's weird.
Do you feel it in your soul? Are you really, truly Jim right now? If so, then please step forward and press the button.
Jim.
Yes, you see? What a thrill, what a rush. That was you. The button described you. Do it again, do it again.
Jim.
Ooh, it hits even harder the second time. If this were the only new feature in the Stanley Parable 2, it would still be worth the money. Let's take a break from the Jim button. I'm too emotionally drained from all of this personal validation. Whoa there, cowboy. Sometimes a person can be too much, Jim. I'm putting the Jim button away. Otherwise, soon you'll start to lose all sense of who you actually are.
Well, we were Jim for a sec.
I suppose I could allow only people named Jim to play the Stanley Parable 2. That would actually save me the work of finishing this feature.
Alright, I think we're going to end the stream here and pick back up on this another day. Thank you so much for watching this 2-hour stream of the Stanley Parable. I'll be back with it soon. Remember to tap in with Graham Yoon. If you like what you see, follow, subscribe, show me some love. Peace.